photograph before of your donkey.
Oh,
have you
yes.
always had a donkey?
Yeah, I have the donkey for a long time. I have the donkey now for 29 years. The donkey at the moment now is 35 years of age. And a lot of people, even the present day, be saying, Barney, what age is he? And they'll be telling them what age he is. And they'll be looking at me thinking I'm having him on. They said, no, he says, I'd go down to Liscarroll, County Carlow, Mallow area, says I, in Cork. Says I, once a year to the Donkey Sanctuary. I'd be talking to Paddy Barrett, which is the manager down there, know Paddy well. And he asked me for a photograph, and I brought him down a nice photograph, and he has it up in his office. And it's a grand photograph of myself and the donkey and the card. And the reason he wanted was he knew straight away by the way I was talking to him that I was very kind to the donkey. So he wanted a photograph to let people see how kind you should be to the donkey. Look at this man. How kind you should be to the donkey for them coming in that mightn't be so kind. Yeah. So he has that there. But he told me about the donkey's age, as I was asking about that. And he said, well, he says, come round to the stable here and I'll show you this donkey. It's a little mare donkey round here, he says. Round to her anyway, look, says, what age do you think she is? Well, says I, she's a bit older than mine anyway. I think mine was 27 at the time or something. He says she's 35. Oh, be dad, 35. Jeez, good looking out, Nick for 35. Oh, see, they're well minded here, as you can see. Plenty of hay, plenty of straw, plenty of company. 400 of them in the compound. And
400 donkeys? 400
donkeys, yeah. They've up to 30 acres of land. Let so many of them out through the land during the day. They take turns at it. Now, they've bought a lot of land down there. But anyway, he said to me, come on round to this other stable. Now, says I, to the people I was talking to, this is where you get the message. Now, this is true information, I says. This is not made up. Are you listening carefully? We are, Barney. Over to this other stable, looked into this other donkey. Now, he says, what age do you think she is? Another mare donkey. Well, be God's sake, the one you're after telling me is 35, says I. She's a bit older than that, be the look of her. And he says, you're dead right, she is, he says. She's days away from 50. 50?
That's very old, yeah.
And, well, says I, that's a big age for them. So horses die much younger. Yes, he says, well, most horses just been working, has been working their lifetime, pulling ploughs and pulling harrows and pulling everything. It's understood. But, says, 50 years of age. Now, see, she's at her limit at the moment. And with the look of your one there on the photograph, and that, he says, and the age you tell me she is, that he is, mine is a cutjack. And he says,
yours is a what?
A cutjack.
What's that?
Well, it means that he can never service a mare.
Oh, he's like a colt.
Can never, yeah. And so that was all right. And he says, with good care, he says, with the look of you there, you look at that donkey of yours, he says, yours is going to go the distance. But with good care, he says, and remember these words what I'm saying, with good care.
Yeah.
You know, I have a little shed out there laying too, and I have the donkey in that, a little manger in it for his hay, and a half door. They're a very hardy animal. And you're not to lock them up in a shed as such, a half door, so they can look out like the horse you see in the stables. They must look out and feel free, looking out the half door, you know, for plenty of air as well.
Do you need to feed them anything extra than grass, or are they happy just with the grass?
Happy enough for the grass. Yeah. My lad now got colic, and that's is close enough to a bellyache. And what happened, I got the vet for him. I thought he was dead, he wasn't getting up, and then eventually he got up and he fell down again. I thought he'd had something, I didn't know what it was. So I rang for the vet. It was Saturday morning. The vet landed at 4 o'clock. They got him, so he got a big tube, put it down his throat, and he just liquid. And he put it down his throat, and then he gave him an injection. And he waited there for a few minutes. He says, you're lucky, man, he says. He says he has this colic thing, he says. And
well, what's the colic?
It's gas, too much food. See, we were giving him a bit of bread. They were giving him bread, and the bread, you see, got trapped, didn't digest, got trapped down here in the throat, and it was like you push your throat out like that. You know, it got like that.
Yeah,
and he put the liquid down, and see, the liquid dissolved the thing below and broke it up.
Yeah.
And the next thing, the donkey let a belch. It was like a clap of thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all over.
So he got the window.
So he told me about that. The reason for that is too much, the pasture is too rich. He's getting too much teat. keep him in a little bit if you can.
So
keep him in for another half day. Don't let him out till dinner hour.
Yeah.
On the next day, let him out in the morning and put him in at dinner hour for the half day.
It'd be too rich food.
That's what happened to him out there. You too much scope under him.
Yeah. What about in the winter time? Would you need to give him hay now?
In the winter time, I'd get hay off a local farmer here for him, and about a bale a month. Only a small little bit of hay at a time you give him, and a bucket of water. Leave the bucket of water in the shed with him as well.
Is there anything else? Like, what about the feet now?
Yes.
I've heard about donkeys having very long hooves and being lame as a result of that.
Yes, that's right. Well, there's a chap in Rush by the name of Brandon Morgan. He dresses my donkey's feet every 6 months. I'll always know when he needs to be done. He needs to be done at the moment now for the parade coming up, so I'll have him done now tomorrow. So for that. But they need to be done because what happens with the feet is the hoof goes forward.
Yeah.
And the hoof goes forward and the donkey's body lies back.
Yeah.
And they go down and eventually they'll go like that.
Yeah.
They'll go up all together. The poor animal wouldn't be able to lift his legs. We'd be afraid to put them to the ground because there'd be great pain there.
Yeah.
It'd be like twisting your finger back against same bloody thing, I get him dressed every 6 months, and he's grand.
Does he sort of cut the horn off his hoofs?
He puts the hoof between his legs and has a sharp knife, a special knife for it, half moon shaped knife.
Yeah.
And he drags it right around. He knows where the quick is, as far deep as he can go. He doesn't go. He leaves it right. Goes right around. Does a very neat job on it. Pairs the sole of the foot, cleans it all out, gets his file and files it all like combing, grooming your hair. He files it all around with the file like that, leaves it like that, beautiful. He'll have that donkey done, the four legs
like
be
the
done.
Blacksmith does.
Very same thing, yeah.
Well, he wouldn't need to have shoes then.
No, I asked him when I got the donkey first about the shoes, and he said, well, Barney, he says, I'll put a set of shoes on and see for a few bob for you, but he says, as you probably know yourself, he says, there's no point in putting them on it because he says, unless you're going to use them on the road all the time, because the shoes will still fall off them out in the field. Yeah, they will still fall off them on the field, although it's only grass.
They'll grow off them.
Yes, that's right, yeah, exactly, yeah. The foot would grow and push the nail out of his way, sort of thing.
Tell me about the carts now. You have a little donkey cart.
A little donkey's cart there too, yeah. Little donkey's cart is... it was a little cart. It came from Donegal, and the cart was advertised, and I seen it. I went to look at it, and I got it home on a trailer. And the cart came from Donegal, and the cart was a flat timber body, and little sides about 6 inches up with sideboards on it that you could sit on. And the cart was for the churns of milk going to the creamery. Years ago.
I remember that.
And that is what that cart was made for at the time, and that's the cart, and that's what it was for. And there was wheels on it. The wheels are out there still. The cart is gone because it went rotten eventually with age. But I have the wheels, and the wheels are off. I think it's a 1940 or thereabouts of a Ford motor car, and the wheels are spokes. They're out in the yard at the moment. They're spokes. The spokes in them wheels.
Do you have trouble getting the donkey into the cart? Because sometimes they don't like pulling yokes.
When I bought him first, the man I bought him off was into donkeys. He was involved in donkey derbies and all at the time. And he said to me, he says, he's used to the cart now, all right, but he's not that long in the cart, but he'll be okay with you. You'll be able to handle him. I wouldn't give him to you, only you can handle, because I worked horses years ago and all. So he says he's not too keen on backing the cart, pushing it back. And he says the way you do that is drive him up to a ditch. The ditch is a deep ditch. It's looking down into the ditch.
So he's looking down into the ditch.
And he'll back away from the ditch. And that's how he'll get used to backing the cart. I worked that on him. I had him trained inside a fortnight. He'd back that cart anywhere I'd want him. No problem. But that was the secret in it.
You see,
and they're very dicey sometimes when they don't want harness on them or the cart on them. They'll try to get clear of that. And my lad, when I got him, I had him in the cart, and as soon as I got up on him, he'd bolt. He'd go galloping straight away. So I said, this lad is not right for the road. I can't take him out on the road. He's half mad. So I got into the cart anyway, and he starts trotting down the field out there where the Phil's house is. And he went down the field flying. I got down in the cart in my hands and down on my knees in the cart and caught a hold of the reins, leather reins. And he flew again the ditch, a bank. There was only 3 foot high, and got the wheel of the cart up on the bank to try and turn over the cart.
Wow.
And another time I had him on the road and he lay down on the road. Went down the two front legs and lay on the road. I got over for fire. I was lucky I hadn't children with me. And I lay there. I'd had to talk to him. And I talked to him. And I got him standing stubborn. Yeah, very stubborn. Yeah. And in the field then, eventually what I done was, seen him at that with trying to kill myself and probably maybe kill himself as well. Yeah. But I got the cart again. I got used to him. I knew what he was up to then. So I got into the cart and got him down the field, tipped him and away he goes. And I buried the shaft of the cart next to the ditch, next to the bank. I pulled him till I got him going again. Now they're very hard mouths on him. What he'll do is he'll turn his head round when you pull too strong. He won't pull again, yeah. He'll come round.
Yeah.
You see?
He'll go with it.
Yes, clever as the devil. Yeah. Go with it. And I got the shaft and I buried the shaft. With the run he was coming at such speed, he buried the shaft on the bank, a foot into the bank.
Yeah.
And he stopped dead, tried to pull away, looking enough to the ground. Because he quietened down well enough. And thereafter that then, he was afraid then, you see, being an owl hand at the game, I knew bloody well how to handle the situation. The situation was like I'm telling you. And thereafter, when I had him again in the field, he was more than nice with me. He never wanted to go near the ditch. He wanted to trot on and trot rightly and properly, and I had no problem with the present day. Yeah. He's a lovely animal, he loves crowds.
Do you get any complaints from the neighbours when he hee-haws in the night?
No, in fact it's quite the opposite. Any of the children that's about here hear some of that. They know who he is. He says, there's Noddy. We call him Noddy. Because we called him Noddy long ago for the children's sake here, because there was a programme on the television for a children's programme. Noddy was the name of it, and it wasn't all donkeys, of course, but a lot of it was donkeys. So the name of the programme was Noddy. And once the child heard Noddy, he knew it was the donkey. So the donkey and the child is always very partners. You know, so they all come running down to the field and for to see Noddy and see Ran. So I had him out here on the side of the road on a green belt, tired, and I had to take him away from it and put him back in the field. There used to be a queue of cars of a Sunday here on the road, people going out for a spin, and they're seeing the donkey. And out here on the road where I had him, it's a bend, and the cars were pulling up. They wouldn't pull in when they could pull in, but they didn't pull in, and there was 3 or 4 cars, maybe more, one behind the other, with maybe a dozen of children looking at the donkey, and the daddy and mammy with the camera. The daddy putting the donkey up, putting the child up on the donkey's back, and the daddy or whichever it might be taking the photograph of the donkey for to bring it home and have it forevermore.
So he won't. And
it got a bit dangerous then. No, very quiet. Loves children. Oh, yeah. Loves the children. Because you see, the children are giving him the biscuits.
Yeah.
And I was a bit afraid of a day with them coming giving them biscuits. An adult would always have to be with them, because an adult would also want to understand an animal such as a horse or anything like that, or the donkey, because if you give them a biscuit or a bit of bread with your fingers, he can catch your finger.
Yeah, he could bite you.
He can get more than the bread. He could grab the finger and all, you see. So you have to be able to. You have to understand. Have the biscuit on your hand like that.
Take it on the flat.
On the flat, and he'll come and he'll take it on the flat, and he'll only his soft mouth will only rub off your palm of your hand, but he'll take the biscuit and he won't hurt you. But other than that, it's deadly dangerous. I'd be in trouble if anything happened to a child who cut a finger. I'd be liable. Yeah. No, I've no notice up around, you know. Yeah. So I had to take him off the side of the road then, and he's in the field now. Yeah. But it's different now. Children are growing up now and things like that, and anyone that's around about, or even that they know about him, and they'll always ask permission. Can we see the donkey? Can we take a step at the donkey? Certainly, but if you want to give them something, make sure you put it on the palm of your hand. No, but I'd be there with them more or less.
Apart from things like the St. Patrick's Day parade, does the donkey have any other use, or is he just like a pet?
He's like a pet. Patrick's Day Parade is the big one of the year. I'd take him out, bring him up and down the road here to the Man of War local public house up a quarter mile up the road, and a lot of people up there, bring him up to the car park of a Sunday afternoon once a month or so, and nowadays there'd be a lot of children out with their parents for a meal, and in the car park the Man of War is fairly big, and I'd have them there, so I'd put them up on the little cart, and I give them a little chant around the park, and maybe 3 or 4 at a time, or 5 or whatever it be at a time, gives them a little chant from A to a Z, start off here and back again, and then take up another half dozen, and they all get a go on them, so they're all happy. So it's both popular that way.
Would he be strong enough to pull you with you sitting on the carts like that?
Yeah.
Could he pull away?
Yeah. Well, now you asked me something there. Now I'd be mad for you to go away without telling you about this. Yeah. That's very important. That when I got that donkey first, I was talking to a man that understands the donkey, like Paddy Barrett and all that, down in Mallow, donkey sanctuary, and I asked this question about how strong they were and that. Well, he says, Barney, I'll tell you how strong. That donkey you use now is a smallish donkey, but a big lump of a donkey, he says now, like a small pony, equal to that, he says, is as strong as 10 big men, 10 men.
10 men?
Yeah. You can imagine what 10 men will pull out there on the road.
Yeah.
Without being, that will be, will we say, a big roller. And whatever, even a lorry, the way we see it today, they say, put the rope onto it and put 10 men to it. And the 10 men can pull that lorry up a long handy. Put the donkey to it and he'll pull that. Yeah. That strong donkey will pull the same truck.
Yeah. So they
or the same weight, I should say.
They could possibly pull a small plough, maybe.
Oh yeah, they do plough. Sure, field days now where I go, I see the mules and the donkeys in it. There'd be 2 donkeys in the plough, and they'll have them now. Agreed, the plough wouldn't be too deep, it'd be only about 3 inches in the ground or thereabouts. But it's showing people that it was done, it can be done, and it was done. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And they're hard and all that sort of thing. No problem.
Yeah, I've never seen a mule now. I've only ever seen them in the films. I've never seen them.
Yeah. Oh, they're grand, and he knows me now when I go out. Once I go out now at all, you hear my voice and he hears Ag's voice or Philomena's voice. Yeah. He knows our voices so well. He's down the bottom of the field, and if we were away now for a half day anywhere and we were home, and I was going outside, and Ag would say, "Barney, will you bring me in a few sticks for the fire, or a bit of coal?"
Because he knows our voice, yeah?
That's well done, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, that's... oh, there's to be some laughing.
What kind of a fella is not?
Well, now, you know, as the saying goes, like, you're as stupid as an ass, and you're as stupid as an ass, and all this stuff. Like, there's not much... personality-wise with him now. It'd be like him after saying about the voices of ourselves. He'd know about us, that it was coming, or about the place.
Would he be cute enough to know if he hears like a certain noise that there might be food around?
No, not so much with the food end of it. Thirst, you know, is a desperate thing with anybody, and of course same applies with the donkeys or the animal. When he's thirsty at all, if he hears the bucket, I'll be giving him a drink of water in the bucket, fill the bucket of water. As soon as I lift the bucket, he's down the field and he hears the handle of the bucket rattling. It's a galvanised bucket, and he hears it rattling. He'll start roaring like I'm after demonstrating there, and he'll come flying up the field, and he will wait until I go out with the bucket of water for the drink of water. He has heard the bucket. He's cute, they're cute that way. And for, as to say, the voices of people and all. But other than that now, Trinity House. Well, Trinity House is a school for these children. But that was never there. That was only built there 30 years ago or so.
What was there before?
You said something about was there a big house called Trinity House?
No, not around here. They got that name from somewhere else. There is other Trinity Houses as well. That's their name, government level or something.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know, and them children are in it from 16. If they're old boys or something like that, they've done something, so they're put in over there for length of time and given an education. They're trained as carpenters and electricians, and you have it, and they're let out there. And their time is done, and it's up to themselves now back into society. Now, Barney, let me be one of them. Now, Barney, you've out. We're letting you go home now, and listen, the best of luck to you now, and whatever, you know. That's it.
I think what you said, if I rightly remember now, was that you built this house at the time that Trinity House was being built.
That's right. That was the time. Yeah, it was built around that time. Yeah, I gave a lot of work around that time.
That was around 1950.
God, I think it
70,
was
73, 74.
73,
yeah, I think be around that. Yes, that's right.
In 74, yeah.
Right. So the old cottage was here up to right up to the 70s.
No, the old house, here. The old thatched cottage was here. No, that was a long time, a good while. Well, a couple of years gone before.
You built.
It wasn't being lived in for 4 or 5 years before I knocked it down, and then immediately built this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be the gist of that.
How would you describe, just to finish off, just at the end of it now, the Man of War? What's it like to live in the Man of War? Is it a nice place to live?
The Man of War is a nice place to live. Of course, naturally I wouldn't be condemned because I'm here in my lifetime. But talking about the Man of War, I was living in Lusk for a while in an estate there in Kelly Park, and I knew most of the people at the time. And before I built this, and a good few people got to know that I was going to build up here. I got planning permission to build a house and go to live here. A lot of people said, well, Barney, you're going up there to live beside that school up there. So that's a prison and all that, which is not. But they call it as a prison. And they said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself going up to bring your family up there and all. And I said, no, sorry, I'm from up there. So there's a friend of mine beside me. And he said, hold on a minute. Barney is going back home. So which I was, I went back home, but
This
I'm
is
back
where
home.
you were reared.
Yeah, here. But about the Man of War itself, yes, the Man of War is a grand area. People just talk about it up on the back of Godspeed, like to talk about a lot of places. But the true story thing, we're 3.5 miles from Lusk. We're 4 miles from Skerries. We're 3 miles from Balbriggan. We're 6 kilometres, I should be saying, 6 kilometres from Swords. Now, from my house, from this gate here, this is very accurate information. From this gate here, out there on the road outside this house, to Dublin city centre in a motor car, allowing for lights and everything else, 25 minutes in city centre.